Hello again, fellow beer lovers. Today I've decided I'm going to try a Spaten Oktoberfest for you. You can see the part of the logo is the Bavarian flag, or Bayern, which is South Germany, which is where it's from. It's out of, let's see, I believe it's actually, it's out of Munich, and which is the capital of Bavaria, and it's a good time to be enjoying Oktoberfests. You can get a lot of them right now. It's still Oktoberfest season, being end of the first week or so of November. There are a lot of Oktoberfests that are being produced by various microbreweries across the U.S., including here in Minnesota. But it's also a good time to get some of the classics that are imported from Germany. So anyway, the other thing I want to showcase tonight are pint glasses, and there are various types, various sizes, shapes. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll show you some examples of each of the main types from my personal collection. All right, so we'll start by opening this up with my favorite beer cap lifter. And this is KitchenAid. They don't make these anymore, but you might be able to find them online. They're super heavy and just solid metal. And it doubles as a weapon in case you're ever jumped when you're pouring your favorite brew. So seriously, you could knock somebody out with this pretty easily. Always an appetizing sound. All right, so I think I'll just go ahead and demonstrate a classic American pint right there. This one happens to be George Killian's Irish, but that's a 16-ounce pint. That's pretty standard. So right away you can see this beer has a full frothy head to it. Real nice. And the beer itself is a deep golden, almost a brown, but it's I would characterize that as golden. Almost looks like a dark, like apple juice. It's gorgeous. Okay, so that's the appearance. Also part of the appearance, that was the color. In addition to the color and the head, you look at the texture of the beer, and you can see it's very carbonated. I don't know if that's actually that's almost certainly natural carbonation from the brewing process, which is that's how it's normally done in Germany. Over here, sometimes the beers will be they'll be actually carbonated with carbonation, but a lot of beers are still brewed with natural kind of oxidation from the brewing process. All right, and so other than that, it's quite clear. You don't see much in the way of sediment or other thick particulate or anything like that. And that's of course what you would actually expect from an Oktoberfest. An Oktoberfest is a lighter, clearer, crisp, refreshing beer typically. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what, this one's pretty interesting. It's a little maltier than I think most Oktoberfest beers. It actually tastes more like a brown ale. So it'd be interesting to read up on it. I'll tell you what, when I do these tastings, I refrain from going online and seeing what other people have said. If you watch some other reviewers, you'll start noticing some of them are ditto heads. You know, you can tell by the commentary that they've gone and found one of the, you know, some of the comments on some of the main sites, and they're like, oh, I'll just, you know, so they I guess in the name of research, they went and saw what other people said, and then when they taste it, they just regurgitate what other people have said, and you know, that's intellectually dishonest, I think. So yeah, now that I've tried this for you, I mean, years and years ago, I've had Spaten Oktoberfest, but that was before I was really interested in you know, doing critical analysis of it. So let me try this more. Kind of nutty, kind of sweet. It actually reminds me a little bit of a Newcastle, although it's been quite a while since I had one of those. Anyway, it's tasty, it's pretty good, and if you like brown ales, you'll definitely want to try one of these. And if you're into doing some comparisons of the different Oktoberfest beers, definitely try one of these. And like I said, that's an American style pint glass, a standard conic. It's a conical, okay? It's just a cone. It's chopped here. That's a conic 16-ounce pint. Now, an imperial pint is 20 ounces, and the thing's huge, you know. But it's really good if you've got yourself a larger beer to pour, or if you've got if you're at a tap and you want to pour a larger beer. Maybe you got a growler, you know, and fill that up nice and full. And it's a nice large glass. Really, it's really nice. It's kind of like, it could be compared with this, you know. It's nice and heavy and sturdy. It's not cheap or thin. It's a real nice solid glass. I got that at the Summit Brewery in St. Paul probably 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. So I don't know if they still make, if they're still making this one. All right, then this, which is a really nice looking style. This is considered a tulip pint because it comes out like a flower. Got that one at the Lafayette Brewing Company down in Lafayette, Indiana a few years ago. All right, and then the third one is, it's called a nonic. I've heard some people call it a nonic, but I suppose nonic as opposed to a conic or conical, but actually it was named because it was named a nonic glass, a nonic, because back about 100 years ago, some enterprising merchant decided to make glasses like this with this bulbous section in the middle, and I think the bulb was a little bit wider here than it was up here, so that because they were finding, I suppose, in the bars, that when they were storing, transporting, washing, and putting away the glasses, that they were hitting each other at the top, and thinner glasses were getting nicked and broken. And so building them this way, or blowing them this way back then, they called them no-nick. And they became popular. And I did read that in the UK now, no-nicks have become even more popular now than the imperial pint, or the conical imperial pint. So those are the three main types, but then you'll also find, interesting variations. This is a pint glass. That's a 16-ounce pint, but it's got a triangular base. It's a Bass, and it's got a red base that actually kind of reflects throughout the glass. It's very very unique, very cool. So that's all I have for today. We covered the main types of pint glasses, and I guess next time we'll cover some more unique styles. In the meantime, enjoy your beers and happy drinking.